Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Now, at the moment we have a 10th anniversary special. Happy anniversary! And so says an unexpected vidcast. And happy anniversary to anyone, and we'll read out some messages that were put
Everyone, nice to see you.
Oh, sorry, that was just an experiment I put
at the
on.
moment we have
There you go. Sorry about that, everyone. It's just something went wrong. But we'll read out some messages that the Radio Times have asked people, including Christopher Eccleston, which quite surprised me this morning. So, what do we start off the show with? Happy anniversary, let's say. Now, 10 years ago was the day when Rose was broadcast. And if you want to ask me any questions in the show regarding anything to do with New Who, then just feel free to put a comment through or have a happy anniversary. And thank you, D. Cool. Well, yes, so 10 years ago, Rose was on, and it was watched by around 11 million viewers. I think it's, that's rounded down. But it's quite amazing, really, how on the first episode, they said that just after it had broadcast that there's going to be a second series. And then just as series 1 ended, in June time, I think, they said we're going to do a third series. And I found that, when I found it out, quite amazing that they had quite a lot of series planned, even if it wasn't going to be a success much after series 1. But of course, series 1 was a success, leading to 9 more series. And there'll probably be a series 10 in 2016, but that's wishing the time away. So let's read some birthday messages. Oh, but first we've got a question. What do you miss most about each of the New Who Doctors that have regenerated? The 9th Doctor. The 9th Doctor was sort of... he was a different sort of Doctor, and I like every Doctor in different ways. And the 9th Doctor, I liked his relationship with Rose, because I missed that when David Tennant came in, because it became sort of a lovey-dovey relationship. But I liked it when it was more like the 9th Doctor and Rose, because it wasn't as much of a lovey-dovey relationship as the others were. The 10th Doctor, I liked him sort of being quite sensible in some ways and being serious sometimes, because I liked how he reacted in serious occasions, and I missed that. And Matt Smith, I missed his jokes, because he was a very funny Doctor, definitely in his first series or 2. But then he got to a bit darker towards the end. But also I like that darker edge. And that was probably the better era, in my opinion, of the Matt Smith episodes. And if I had to do the 12th Doctor, because he's apparently going to change over this series, I think his angry Scottishness, because I like his angry Scottishness about him. Thank you for that question. Here are some messages from some people that I'm going to read out. First of all, Russell T. Davies says, never mind the Doctor. Happy birthday to the faithful viewers. 10 years of watching. Fantastic. Despite your many birthdays, you never get old. Thank you, Doctor Who. You changed my life in every way. Happy birthday from Julie Gartner, executive producer from 2005 to 2009. Christopher Eccleston. Happy 10th birthday, my rebooted friend, said Christopher. There was an old Doctor called Who. 10 years ago, he was brand new. He always looks dashing. He's timeless and never better than now. I wish time would stand still for me too. Billy Piper. I think that poem's good at the beginning, but then it gets a bit... There's no rhyme, and it just gets a bit... Yeah, silly. Many hearty congratulations on 10 fantastic years. Where did that go? It doesn't seem possible. It seems like yesterday, and I am privileged to have some wonderful, intense, beautiful, wild memories that will stay with me forever. Thank you, Doctor Who, from Camille Kadori. Noel Clark says, wow, 10 years. Happy birthday, Doctor Who. It's an honour to have travelled with you on the TARDIS. For all these years, glad I was there at the start. I thank you both as a character and a man. As Mickey grew, I did too. Annette Bradland says, the Doctor I'm always pleased to see. So proud to have him been involved in his odyssey. Dinner in bondage works for me. Here's to the next decade of adventure, wit and high blood pressure. John Barrowman says, happy 10th birthday, Doctor Who. When I was a little boy hiding behind the sofa in Glasgow on a Saturday night, I had no idea that one day I would be part of the TARDIS team. Dreams really can come true. Once a Whovian, always a Whovian. Happy 10th Regeneration Day. Love from the editor and the mighty Jag Freyas of the Holy Hardra Jasic Maxtrafnefo, or whatever the heck it was. All the best, Simon Pegg. David Tennant. When I grew up, Doctor Who was on all the time. I'm so pleased that a whole new generation have now grown up with the Doctor. All is right with the universe. David Tennant. Sophia Miles. Dear Time Lord, you're timeless. Happy birthday. Yours forever in the fireplace. Sophia Miles. Happy birthday to Who. Happy birthday to Who. Happy birthday to the Doctor. Happy birthday to... Run, the Daleks are coming. Love, Catherine Tate. Who I know Deacle does not like. Oh, yeah. I love that. Question. Which two of the classic Who Doctors do you think would fit best within the new Who style, and why? Now, I know we've seen Tom Baker in The Day of the Doctor. He has to be one of them because he's such a great Doctor, and I think he's got similarities between him and Matt Smith in some ways. You might no, not Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, that's it. There are some similarities between him and Matt Smith. I mean, oh, Peter Capaldi. And I find those similarities quite, well, not obvious, because he's got sort of, Peter Capaldi's got some features from all the 4 first Doctors, but Tom Baker, I think, would quite fit in New Who. And also Sylvester McCoy, I think, because I'm not counting Paul McGann, because he's sort of half both, so I'm not counting him, just counting the first 7 Doctors. But well, Sylvester McCoy's got a darker edge near the end and a humorous side at the beginning, so I think he reminds me a bit like Matt Smith and David Tennant a bit sometimes, and I think he'd quite fit sometimes in the New Era, but his episodes wouldn't fit in the New Era because most of them were terrible, but it wasn't Sylvester McCoy's fault. Oh, that was funny. Also, if I was counting Paul McGann, probably I'd replace Paul McGann with probably Sylvester McCoy. Yeah, because he was in Night of the Doctor, and I think he needs some more adventures for New Who. I think Patrick Troughton could fit in there. Peter Davidson could fit in there. Colin Baker, William Hartnell, probably not, and John Pertwee sometimes. So, yeah, I think the ones. I think those are ones. We've got another question from Deep Call. Not an actual question, but he says, "Are there any special events on to celebrate the 10th anniversary?" If you go on to Doctor TV, you can actually get sort of tonight there'll be the Rank Revival winners, and but all that it was the birthday messages on Radio Times and some exclusive videos, which I was just about to watch, but then I discovered the timer was getting low for this video. So this I needed to do. So I wanted to do this, but I will get to watch these videos maybe tomorrow or Saturday. Or Sunday even, at the latest. So, yeah, there are some exclusive videos. There's some on the Radio Times website, I think. There's one of Chris and Billy's first scene together. There's one of Peter Capaldi singing Happy Birthday to Doctor Who, surprising the people at the Doctor Who experience. And there's one where Peter Capaldi remembers Rose, and there's like a Russell T Davies interview or something like that. But yeah, okay. Let's have a few more birthday messages. Bernard Cribbins says, "Happy birthday to you, to the Doctor, that's who. You're my favourite Doctor. Happy birthday to you." Freema Rajaman says, "Congratulations on 10 years of capturing and catapulating the imaginations of a whole new generation. Happy birthday to who?" Freema Rajaman. Jessica Hines says, "I like to think I had the best of you, Doctor, if only when you were human. Happy birthday, love, Jessica Hines." If you don't know who that is, it's the woman from Human Nature, Family of Blood, Joan Redfern. Chris Chibnall says, "Happy birthday, Doctor Who. Wait, are you 10 or 52? Have you started lying about your age? Either way, looking good." Gareth Roberts says, "Happy 10th birthday, Doctor Who. It was a strange world without you. Don't leave again." So, another question. We saw Dark Water, Death in Heaven recreating the Cybermen invasion walk. What other classic scenes do you think should be revisited within New Who? This is an interesting one because I think that the scenes are better not tampered with, because I think I like the Dark Water, Death in Heaven bit when they were marching down the steps, but it isn't as good as that classic scene in the invasion when the Cybermen march down the steps. And I think the most likely to be recreated, which was recreated a tiny bit for an adventure in space and time, but it was the Dalek bit when they go across London. But yeah, as I said, I don't think something should be tampered with, and I think it's the same as movies, sequels and stuff. Sometimes the stories run out of ideas, and not everything needs a sequel. And the same as Doctor Who, because you can have it repeated loads of times because it's going to ruin that iconic first scene if it gets too far. So yeah. But other classic scenes. There were some classic scenes recreated in the Arc of Infinity, for the Arc of Infinity, and Dragonfire. But those were the bit when the Doctor's hanging off the cliff, and the Arc of Infinity when he's trapped in the vortex thing by Omega. But that was in Name of the Doctor, all of them. And but it had some iconic scenes revisited. But I suppose that way it wasn't really revisited much because it was just in a tiny bit. It was just Clara watching down on them for that classic scene. Okay, another question we have. Can you see Who going for another 10 years? Wow, this is a tricky one. Because Classic Who went on for 26 years, from 1963 to 1989. But I think it could be possible to do this because Doctor Who could go on for as long as it wanted, as long as it's successful, because the Doctor could just regenerate, and even if the Doctor dies, but even if it's a really old Doctor and he dies before he can do his regeneration story, then they could have a Colin Baker to Sylvester McCoy-like scene when it's the next actor playing the Doctor, like in Time the Rani. But yeah, but it was 10 years ago since Rose. I was thinking this morning, about this question. Thank you for reminding me about it. I was thinking about it sort of. I was thinking that it will have a break soon. Maybe when Peter Capaldi leaves, or when Stephen Moffat leaves, or whenever it is. But I think in a few years there'll be a little break, but it won't be loads of years. I think it would be 1 year or just a tiny bit longer than that. But I don't think we can see it leaving for quite a long time because it's still successful. Definitely when Peter Capaldi's Doctor came in Deep Breath, that was everywhere. On all the TV magazines, on all the shops, it was everywhere. You could get everything to do with it. But I don't think it will be as successful, but I think I can see it going for a little longer. Another question here. Do you think there should be more cliffhangers in New Who like we used to have in the classic series? I like two-parters because we on podcast, the actual Doctor Time and Space, we ranked every episode in order, but most of the two-parters were sort of higher in the list, and the lowest two-parter, which was Sometimes Stratagem Poison Sky, came at about 79, I think, and there's 117 New Who episodes, so that's quite good. It means that the two-parters are sort of more successful. And that's what Stephen Moffat said. He said he hadn't written a proper two-parter since The Impossible Astronaut, Day of the Moon, before Dark Water, Death in Heaven. And he said he really enjoyed it. And also they were a success, and that's why he's doing 3 or more two-parters in series 9. But it was quite successful, and it's quite popular because Classic Who had so many classic cliffhangers, and the cliffhangers were so successful in the old days because in the old days you had to wait a whole week. And in cliffhangers now, you have to wait a whole week to get onto to find out what is going to happen. And at the end of Dark Water, I really wanted to watch the next episode because it was a really good cliffhanger. But the thing was, part 2 wasn't as good, definitely not the first time, but maybe it was better the second time round. Two-parters are quite successful, but I can't really see them do more than two-parters anymore. They did it kind of with Utopia, Sound of Drums, Last of the Time Lords, but I don't think they should do more than 2 parts. So yeah. Okay, so thank you for that. We've got some more birthday messages now. Mark Gattis says 10 amazing years back at the top for the Doctor. Still have to pinch myself that it happened. A huge thank you to everyone who's helped put the Doctor back where he belongs. Here's to the next 10. Going back to a question earlier, which we had. Georgia Moffat. Dear Doctor Who, you feel like the glue that's bound my 30 years together. From my primary school projects to years later entertaining my own kids, to generously giving me employment and a family.
Oh.
I'm very grateful you are still alive and kicking. Happy birthday, old boy. Georgia Moffat. Alex Kingston. Happy birthday to who? Happy birthday to who? Happy birthday, dear doctor. Happy birthday to who? Now there's a song. Kiss, kiss, kiss. Alex Kingston. Steve Pemberton. Happy birthday and many happy regenerations. I had a great time with the team, but was dismayed when naughty Dr. Tennant restored to cheating in the pub quiz. Using time travel to answer the history questions should not be allowed. Colin Morgan says, happy birthday. I feel very lucky to have been a small part of the Doctor Who legacy and look back on my experience on the show with much fondness. Long may it continue. Douglas McKinnon. Happy birthday, Doctor Who. Proud and privileged to have been one of the storytellers. Michelle Ryan says, happy 10th anniversary, Doctor Who. I wish you continued success. It was truly a highlight of my career, getting to play opposite David Tennant's Doctor. I'll never forget spotting the big red bus in the middle of the desert. Lindsay Duncan says, I'm very proud to have been involved in the legend which is Doctor Who. I'm also amazed that I haven't been offered more action parts, since I almost beat David Tennant at running. Happy birthday, with love and hoorays, Lindsay Duncan. Loved working with everyone at Doctor Who. A Time Lord sends you his congratulations. Happy anniversary, Timothy Dalton.
Hey.
So coming up in the next half an hour of the show and the last half an hour of the show, we have some more questions, some more birthday messages, and also we have some new we have some people saying what their favourite episodes were in New Who. Okay. If you had to pick one story from each classic Doctor, what would you choose, excluding multi-Doctor stories? I'm going to answer this, even though it doesn't have anything to do with New Who, but I'll answer it anyway because I'm pleased that we've got a question. First Doctor. An unearthly child. Now, this could also, I think the first part would work as a New Who story as well. The last three parts wouldn't probably work because it's a very historical episode and quite boring, in fact. Sorry, but it's sort of ugh, and that's all it is. It's just boring. And second Doctor, my favourite is. This is so hard. Probably Enemy of the World. I like this one. But the one that would be most like a New Who episode. Seeds of Death could be one. Enemy of the World could be one. War Games, and that just popped into my head. But I think maybe Enemy of the World for both favourite and for oh, sorry, I've been doing it wrong. They said I read New Who, not Classic. They just did a typing error. So I have to start again. Okay, Ninth Doctor. If you can Eighth Doctor, then Ninth Doctor. But Ninth Doctor, Aliens of London, World War III. Love this story. Because it's sort of like, I don't know why I like this one better than The Empty Child, but I just find it a very exciting adventure. And I don't know why, it just thrills me quite a lot. And then the 10th Doctor, like most people say Blink. It is a good story. Not my favourite though. It's the one before that. Family of Blood, Human Nature. Such a good episode. And I don't get why Blink is voted a more popular episode than this. Because it's such a good episode. And also it was my first episode to Doctor Who, so it gave me my fascination into Doctor Who, which that's why I have to thank this episode, because it's such a good one, because it introduced me to it. But it's not a good one to start on, I'll tell you that, because I was like, where's the Doctor? Because the Doctor's technically not in it. 11th Doctor. There's been a lot of fuss over 2 episodes. I like them. It's just I don't know why there's such a fuss. They're their favourites of the era sometimes. They're voted. 11th Hour, good one. Not the best Regeneration story. And Doctor's Wife. Not sure about that one. But my favourite is it's probably Day of the Doctor. It was such a fascinating episode, and I enjoyed it so much. Excuse me, just getting a drink. And finally, 12th Doctor, Darkwater, Death in Heaven. Because it's so good, and Death in Heaven is actually a lot better when you watch it the second time round, in my opinion. Might not be in other people's, but it is in mine. Another question. Do you think modern day Doctor Who could sustain having the Doctor banished to Earth, like what happened to the 3rd? There's been a lot of Earth stories. The Earth ones sometimes tend out to be the best. But like Blink, for example, and Empty Child, Father's Day, lots of good, really good episodes that were on Earth, and 11th Hour, of course, but I don't know if it could happen for a whole 3 series or whatever it was in the classic era, because I think they need a bit of variety, and definitely now there's 12, 13 stories maximum in every series. They probably couldn't cope because they probably run out of ideas. And unlike the Classic Who, because the Classic Who, the TARDIS was exiled, but sometimes they did go to other planets because there were reasons to this. But the reason I don't get is in Curse of Peladon, when they just gallivant off to Peladon, but they don't have their TARDIS by then. They have it in the next series. Oh. Okay. Well, to add to this question, I think the 12th Doctor is one of the more alien, the alien people. Not alien people, but alien doctors. Sorry about this. But I think Doctor Who probably couldn't sustain 4 series without being on an alien planet or in the past or the future or wherever they're going. More birthday messages now. Stephen Moffat says, "Happy birthday, Doctor. Only you could have your 10th so soon after your 50th. When I was a little boy, you made me want to be a writer. When I grew up, you made me want to be a better one. Keep going forever, Doctor, and I'll do the best I can, Stephen Moffat." Poofed. 10 years. Doctor Who laughs at 10 years. A mere speck in the wondrous history of Who. That said, happy birthday, Doctor Who, and everyone involved in making, watching, being part of the Who family. We celebrate this together. Now let's all dance around our sonic screwdrivers like lunatics, dunk fish fingers and jammy dodgers and custard, and hope we can have 10 more glorious years of sci-fi mayhem ahead. Hooray, we are 10, Matt Smith. Happy 10th New Who. We won't mention the small fact that you were actually 50. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey. My time on the TARDIS remains the happiest, most exciting and cripplingly sad so far. It was a whirlwind that had to come to an end. Glad to see there is still a Scott on board. Keep travelling. Love, Karen Gillan. Happy bloody birthday, Dwarf. 10. Don't eat too many sweets and be sick at your party. Thank you for the rocking ride. Long may you continue, you cheeky monkey. Arthur Darville. Toby Whitehouse says, "Happy birthday, Doctor Who. Thank you for making me appear vaguely and briefly cool to my kids." Ian McNeice says, "Happy birthday, Doctor Who. Since appearing as Churchill, the Whovian world has greeted me with open arms. Conventions have become my second home. As Winston would say, keep buggering on." Happy 10th birthday! Such a joy to be part of the Doctor's journey through time and space. Working with Matt and Karen is still one of my most cherished times. In the sentiment to Van Gogh and the wonderful words of Mr. Richard Curtis, there are more wonders in the universe than you could ever have dreamt of. Tony Curran. Happy 10th birthday, Doctor Who. Much loved and adored by us all. Here's to the next 10. Catherine Jenkins. Everyone should celebrate the 10th birthday with an extra big portion of fish fingers and custard, recommends Daddy Cool. I think that's true. I was forcing Mum to get fish fingers and custard for tea tonight, but we had spag bowl instead. And, rather pleasant, actually. Yeah. But hopefully people will eat a large portion unlike me.
Oh, boo-hoo-hoo.
I wish I did, really. Everyone would like it. Well, I don't know, because it might be horrible, but Matt Smith ate it properly, so probably quite nice. And he doesn't like apples. If he doesn't like green apples, I love Granny Smith, so... But that's a bit of a tangent. Let's go to more birthdays. Happy 10th anniversary, old friend. Thanks for the incredible journey. Mark Shepherd, who played Captain Delaware III in Impossible Astronaut.
Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday, Doctor. You don't look a day over 900. Hugh Bonneville. As Idris said in her last ever line in The Doctor's Wife, "Hello, Doctor. It was so very, very nice to meet you. I had a ball filming my episode and working with all the cast and crew. Happy 10th anniversary from Saran Jones. Congratulations. I assumed Solomon would be my one Doctor Who experience, but then Mark Gatiss asked me to play William Hartnell in An Adventure in Space and Time. Hartnell set the standard for all those that followed in a phenomenal and enduring success story, and the fact that for the past 10 years the revival has been so popular, it is a testament to that. David Bradley. 10 years old, nearly a teenager. I was very proud to be a dad in the series, and the child in me, remembering the Doctor Who of my youth, was very proud to travel in the TARDIS, ride a Stegosaurus, and get shot by a robot. Thank you, Doctor Who, from Margaret Williams. Ooh. Okay, another question. If you could change 2 things about New Who, what would you change? Going back to a question earlier, more two-parters, because I love two-parters. And as I said earlier, two-parters are better. But that's not... Russell T Davies did do a list of things he'd changed about Rose. I'd change the foppishness of David Tennant, says Dee. Dee Cole would probably say that. But it's who's such a foppish Doctor sometimes, but yeah. It's that's one of the things I'd change. And if an episode was too sort of copying an episode from the past, I think I'd change it. I'd change Deep Breath, because I don't think Girl in the Fireplace really needed a sequel, but I'd change it maybe to... I wouldn't change it that much, but I wouldn't make it the robots from the SS Marie Pompadour ship. Because, yeah. Out with Donna, says an unexpected vidcast. That's his option. And also the foppishness of David Tennant. Those are his 2 options, probably. But those do not... Donna doesn't really bother me much, apart from when she's really annoying. And she's like, "Oh, I'm a temp! Oh! Like that. Really annoys me sometimes. It's a really cocky woman. Okay. More birthday messages now. Thank you for that question. I feel very lucky being a part of the Doctor Who family. I love playing Jenny Flint, and it's such a special job. Happy 10th anniversary, Doctor Who. Here's to many, many wonderful adventures. Catherine Stewart. Hasn't time flown, even without the use of a TARDIS? Happy 10th birthday, New Who. Dan Starkey. Congratulations on a great 10 years. I was delighted to be part of the story. Here's to the next 10, says John Hurt. Doctor Who, I salute you. My confidence grew tremendously after a fantastic role in the best known show on the planet. I feel almost ready for anything. The fans are second to none, and Team TARDIS are incredible. Thanks to you all. Congrats on the last 10, and now to infinity and beyond. Samuel Anderson.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Doctor Who. I'm so glad I got to be part of the legendary show as Journey Blue. I totally forgive you for not taking me with you. Zor Ashton. Happy 10th meter birthday, Doctor Who. How Time Lord of you to celebrate your 10th after your 50th. Swashing my buckle with you as the robot sheriff made my year. Thank you, Ben Miller. Dear New Who, happy 10th birthday. I'm just so glad you came back to give a whole generation of children the same brilliant nightmares. I remember suffering from your original incarnation, which helped shape me into the wildly unbalanced adult with an overactive imagination I am today, says Tom Riley. So that's bring up a question that. Which side characters from New Who would you like to return? I know Deacon would like Journey Blue to return and Shauna. Daddy Cool would, but I hate Shauna because she's a bit annoying. All she did was a silly dance and everyone likes her. Apart from a few people, which are the outsiders, like me and Batman March, for example.
Salsa.
And Salsa. But, this is a hard one. I quite like Georgia Moffat to return as the Doctor's daughter, because I want to see what happened to her after the Doctor's daughter, and I think she should try and take over the Doctor's career and his job, and but the Doctor doesn't want her to. But I think she'll be time traveling around by now. But I want to see a bit more of her. What other ones could we go? This is quite a hard question. There are quite a lot of characters, and I forgot which ones I was thinking of for a minute. Osgood could return, of course. It's just a matter of if she died or not, and there have been some hints of her not being dead, but Stephen Moffat denied that. I bet he went, "Psst, my best idea." But yeah, I can't really think off the top of my head about what side characters there are in the past. Ashley Carter was quite good in the Last Christmas. Professor Albert was quite good, but he died. River Song wasn't good. She wasn't. Definitely not. Luke Ratticum wasn't really good. There's not really any more I think are obvious of returning, and obvious that I'd like to return in the future. But thank you for that question anyway. The final section of birthdays I'm going to read, birthday messages I'm going to read out. Hope you have a wonderful birthday with lots of fantastic presents, pasts and futures. Peter Harness. Happy birthday and congratulations, Doctor Who. Keep spreading the joy. In memory of hiding behind the sofa, scared out of my wits. Hermione Norris. I mentioned the 10th birthday celebrations to the Doctor himself, but received a very withering response. He's lost track of his own birthday, you see. All that hopping around in time, I immediately ran out and brought him a muffin with a candle. In response, he raised an eyebrow, which I chose to interpret as a tearful hug. Happy birthday, Jamie Matheson. What an amazing 10 years since the 9th Doctor told Rose to run. May the show continue and run and run. I love you, Doctor Who. Frank Skinner.
Oh.
I watched a little boy crying when he thought the Doctor wasn't real. Oh, but he is. Happy 10th, 1000th, and many more. Rachel Tallahay. To the Doctor, Wanderer and Wonder, Britain's and Gallifrey's greatest hero. Happy 10th anniversary. You don't look a day over 2056. It was a boyhood dream come true to walk a while in your world. Chris Addison.
Oh.
And finally, Peter Capaldi.
Oh.
When Doctor Who came back in 2005, nobody knew that it would work. But as soon as the credits rolled and that theme music began, there were hairs on the back of the neck, standing up, and excitement. You start getting all of these firsts. There's the first glimpse of the TARDIS, and it is, thank goodness, a blue police box, just like you remember. Then the Autons, to use classic monsters, was an absolutely brilliant idea. And then suddenly we were with Rose. Billy Piper brought something absolutely new to Doctor Who. But of course, the most dazzling thing is the Doctor, in the person of Christopher Eccleston. When he does the speech about the Earth turning and being able to feel it, I thought, yeah, this guy is Doctor Who. We're safe. We're almost finished on the show, and that's all right if you've enjoyed the show. I hope you have enjoyed it anyway. I think there's going to be lots of there might be a few more of these coming soon, but for special occasions or anything. No, we had one last year for October, so that might be the next one, but I won't wish that way either. Or I might have that 24-hour podcast I might have been planning. But thank you for anyone who's watched or asked a question over this day. But before we leave, I just want to ask Salsa a question.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
She was just in the audience at the time.
Oh,
what is your
yeah,
favourite New Who episode?
I like Vincent and the Doctor.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
like
one.
the ending of it. It's quite moving.
Yes, it is. We cried, actually.
Yeah,
Last time
yeah.
we
It's
watched it.
quite a tearful and emotional ending. and I also like The Lodger.
Yeah, directly after each other.
That's directly after.
And
that
Day of the
one,
Doctor
yes.
as well.
Day of the Doctor. I enjoyed watching that in the cinema. Yes.
I'm just going to look up something. If you want to see these birthday messages again, then feel free to go to Radio Times and Doctor Who at 10. And tonight, go to Doctor Who TV's website, so if you want to look at who's going to be the winner of Rank the Revival tonight. And thank you for watching. And happy anniversary to New Who. And at 7 o'clock, we'll be celebrating the anniversary. Because that'll be the time when it started. Exactly. Thank you for watching, guys. Goodbye.